going on out here, and people out here don't know what's going on in there. And the more you have that exchange, I think it'll bring a greater and quicker resolve to that situation, because that information is like a spark plug of thought and provocation. What needs to be understood, I think, and very clear, most people, even in America, very bright people, I know a lot of people who are tremendous businessmen, very successful, and they're not really engaged in the Cuban thing. They're not really thinking about the embargo. They're not really, you know, their life revolves around other things. And that's, you know, they'll say just like a casual statement, like, oh, you know, the embargo is really hurting the Cuban people. And I go, let me just share a couple things with you. And I say, you know, Cuba trades with the entire world. 40%, I believe now, of Cuba's consumption of produce and stuff is coming from the United States right now. This so-called embargo is kind of like, you know, but the point is that Cuba trades with the whole world. Forget about even what they're receiving from the agriculture here in America and stuff. But the Cuban people cannot engage or trade with anybody around the world. It's only the Cuban government. If you go to Cuba to start a business or a hotel, you're in business with the government. You pay the government the wages for the people that are working in your hotel, and then the government then gives them a ration card or a couple pesos or whatever. But you don't pay them in dollars or euros directly. So the Cuban people have no way of bettering their lives. They have no rights in terms of engagement with you in business sense. So the true embargo that has to be lifted is inside of Cuba. It's an embargo of human rights that Cuba's had over its citizens for 50 years. When that happens, then whether it's the U.S. trade or embargo or the European one, will definitely help directly the Cuban people. But it's an internal problem. America is not responsible for Cuba's problems. It's an internal issue. We can help, but we can only help if their internal system changes. And that's been the sort of chess game that's been going on through the years, saying, well, lift the embargo, but you have to lift your sanctions against your own people. You have to change. You have to be more democratic. And the Cuban people say, well, you know, Castro says, you can't tell me what to do, you know. And the embargo has been a tool for Castro to play the victim card for 50 years. So mind you, these are my personal opinions. Castro is the first guy that does not want the embargo lifted. The moment there's no embargo, he's got no enemy. It's his fault now. So if the embargo is going to be lifted, my sense is that they'll say, uh-oh, it's a ploy. They want to invade us, they want to take us over, the embargo is a ploy. Lifting an embargo, they're going to come in here and they're going to take over. No, we can't let that happen. Cuban people stay strong, revolution, patria muerte, you know, socialism or death. So, that's my feeling. And the world thinks they don't know that reality. So when I try to explain that the Cuban people cannot engage and lift the embargoes, so what? What are the Cubans? They go, oh yeah, oh you're right, oh that's terrible. That guy's evil, isn't it? But they don't engage, they have no clue of what it is, because all they receive is the propaganda from the embargo. The embargo is the evil oppressor, the embargo. And it's like, the problem is inside Cuba, not here. We can help, but we only help if that system lets us help. Thank you.